The last set of notes for photosynthesis are the light-independent reactions. And sometimes we call this the Calvin cycle. So we are focusing on this section again on learning target 3, where we want you to be able to identify the reactants and products of the light-dependent and the light-independent reactions and explain how the two are related. We are focusing today, though, on just the light-independent reactions. So basically what's happening in the light-dependent reactions is that we're now going to use the carbon dioxide as well as energy from the first stage. Oh, what energy was that again? Oh yeah, it was NADPH and ATP. Remember how those were made during the light-dependent reactions? We're now going to use those along with carbon dioxide to make sugars, okay? Namely glucose, okay? So this is called the Calvin cycle. So sometimes we might refer to that. Sometimes we'll just say light-independent reactions. But you can even see by looking at this picture that it does form kind of a circle that keeps going around. So that's indicating that it's a cycle. So the first thing that's going to happen is carbon dioxide, and again, this is going to be a reactant. Where does carbon dioxide come from? It comes from the atmosphere. The plants take it in through their tiny openings in their leaves called stomata. And so they bring in this carbon dioxide, and those get added to a 5-carbon molecule to form a 6-carbon molecule. So here's your carbon dioxide. We need to grab that carbon from there and add it to this 5-carbon down here to make this 6-carbon molecule right here, okay? Then we're going to use the energy from ATP and NADPH to split that 6-carbon molecule into 2 3-carbon molecules. So here's your 6-carbon. We're going to use some of that ATP and that NADPH, and that's going to split the 6-carbon into 2 3-carbon molecules. Okay. Once we use that energy, ATP now goes back to ADP, and the NADPH converts back to NADP+. Those get recycled back to the light-dependent reactions. Okay? So that they always have that source of ADP and NADP+, so they can make more NADPH and more ATP, okay? So we're left so far now with these 2 3-carbon molecules. Next, one of those high energy 3-carbon molecules leaves the cycle. So there it goes. It's leaving the cycle here. And then the other one continues on. Okay, the other one stays back in the cycle. It eventually gets changed back to a 5-carbon sugar with the energy from more ATP. So here we have it going back to that 5-carbon by using the energy of ATP. So we're back at the beginning of the cycle again. And so now as more CO2 comes in, we can use this carbon and add it to that 5-carbon to become a 6-carbon. More ATP and NADPH is used to break it into 2 3-carbon molecules. One of those will again exit the cycle. And once you have 2 of those 3-carbon molecules that have left, remember this one was from the previous trip around the cycle. This one right now is from the second trip around the cycle. They're going to add together to form a 6-carbon sugar called glucose. Okay, so once 2 3-carbon molecules have left the cycle, they join to form a 6-carbon sugar called glucose. So it takes 2 turns of the Calvin cycle to make 1 glucose molecule. Okay? And so glucose is one of the main products of the light-independent reactions. And really, ADP and NADP+, these are also products of the light-independent reactions, okay? And again, they get recycled back to light-dependent reactions.